Hey guys, so I am back. I know I haven't done a video, and this time I'm doing it with a microphone. That way I feel like it's gonna help me with being video shy. And I know it's really hard to tell that I'm video shy, but I am. But I know that I need to do these videos and I need to quit procrastinating and just being a little scaredy cat. So, because I know that this is going to help somebody that's going through it. So a lot of you guys seen my video that God told me to move to Arizona, and I did it. One thing that I want to really make sure is that you're hearing from God clearly, that you're hearing from God and getting a lot of confirmation. I got a lot of confirmation when it came to moving to Arizona. So anyways, is it scary? Yes. And the way that God does things sometimes it makes it even scarier. I didn't have the money to move. I didn't know where I was moving. I didn't know how I was going to move. I didn't know a lot of things. There is some things that I wish I would have planned better, that I could have did differently, but he still worked it out. So first thing, did I have the money to move? No, I didn't have the money to move, and my stupid phone keeps going dim. I didn't have the money to move, but last minute before it was time to move, I do hair. I do hair. And so literally within that weekend before it was time to move, God just provided all the money to move. So I moved, and then so through this time I was really being delivered from a lot of things, a lot of mindsets that I had. If it's a wilderness thing, this is gonna be God taking you out of Egypt, right? And when he took them out of Egypt, what he did was provide manna for them. And the manna, it came from the sky. It came from the sky. So, don't be surprised if you are financially struggling. Don't be surprised. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So, yes, during my season out in Arizona with the Lord, I really got to know the Lord. I didn't just know of God, I knew God. I really got to know God on a different level. I fell in love with Jesus on a different level because I seen the way he provided. So not just so much seeing how God would provide, but also seeing how much God really loved me. And just the love of Jesus alone is, you feel like you don't need anything else. You don't need anything else. You don't need anyone else. And it's just something that I hope every person in this world gets to experience, because once you step into that and you see it, game over. You'll never go back. To what? For what? Anyways, so let me get to the good part, okay? Because I know a lot of you are probably scared. You're probably I don't got money for rent. God, you got me out here. You told me to move out here. I said it all. God, why did you bring me out here? If you were just gonna leave me high and dry. I said it all, right? So I'm pretty sure there's someone out there who's thinking the same thing. God, where are you? Well, let me tell you, I was about to get evicted from my apartment, and I was thinking, okay, first of all, God blessed me with a brand new apartment, brand spanking new. It was a luxury apartment, bomb, right? Well, after the first month, I had the money for the rent, and then all these things had to be paid, all last minute, and then I didn't have the money for the rent anymore. So I was crap, what am I gonna do? So that's where I was God, where are you? Why did you bring me out here just to so I could go through this? But it wasn't that. It was that God wanted to show me that he would be the one to provide for me in the dry land. So what happened? Let's just say that for the rest of the time, I lived out there for 7 months. That's a funny number, right? 7. I lived out there for 7 months, and I lived rent-free and bill-free. Bills, utilities were paid for. My rent, which was not cheap, was paid for. And I'm not going to go into depth of how it happened, but it happened, and the way it happened was a God thing. So, I obviously had to look for resources, so don't just sit there and expect it to fall in your lap, because there was a point where I was doing that, and that is the wrong way to do it. So I started looking for resources, found them, God gave me favor, and I lived bill and rent free the entire time. Like, that's what, obedience will get you. Like, I'm not saying it's always like that, but yeah, so I'm not saying it's always like that. I'm just saying that God will provide. Like, there was a man who lived underneath me. This man would randomly drop off cases of apple juice at my door, waters, groceries at my door. He was just such a sweet man. It was just such a God thing. The way, the people that God had brought into my life while I was out there, he just provided everything. If he told you to go out there, he will make it happen. He will. So, I really hope that encourages somebody, because I just feel like somebody needs to hear that. Because it is scary. It's scary. The unknown is scary. Leaving where you're comfortable is scary. But I'm so grateful for it, because had I not gone out there, I wouldn't have been able to see God move in that way. This was all him. That was all him, because I'm so used to hustling and doing things in my own strength, and which God has always, blessed me. But this was a completely different thing, where it was I had to really rely on God fully. There was nothing I could do. So just keep being obedient, keep seeking the Lord. Another thing, when I went out there, I went through a lot of temptation. I was being tested, and there was a lot of temptation being thrown at me. I'm not saying temptation from the Lord, but because he doesn't tempt us, but I'm saying I was being tested for sure. And I want you to make sure that you're very mindful of what's going on. Ask the Lord for discernment, and just to open up your spiritual eyes, because I kind of knew, when it was happening, I was this is weird. This is weird. What's going on here? Just things were being thrown at me, and I'm not gonna lie, I messed up a few times. But, thank God that he gives us new mercies every morning. I thank the Lord for his, grace, and he definitely held me through that time. And he brought me out of it, and I got to, see some things for what they were. And I am, I'm just grateful for the lessons that I learned. And just to, just to be here and be able to share my testimony. This was more just to encourage those of you who are scared right now and who are just really in a dry place right now. Trust me, you'll be good. So I love you guys. I hope this encouraged you. And me and my handy dandy microphone will be back soon. So bye.